Hello again, everybody, and welcome to Prep Time. I'm Justin Barrientos, and I'm here at Winona Senior High School as we talk to two Winhawk athletes who participate in both football and track. We'll also check in with new Winhawk Activities Director Brad Berzinski as he talks about his first year as an administrator here at Winona High. We'll start out today with Travion Clark. Clark is a running back in football and runs track in both relay and individual races. Clark is in his bell lap as a Winhawk athlete, and he will end his Winhawk career on the track. Clark and his Winhawk teammates started out the season in mid-season form. They traveled to the University of Minnesota for an indoor track meet on March 30th.
Travion had the fastest time in the prelims in the 60-meter dash, and then in the finals, he ran a little faster and ended up winning the event.
I didn't think I would be prepared, actually, but before I got mentally prepared and I was there, and I don't know, I did a lot better than I thought I was. It was fun, though.
Trey's time at 6:99 was a really good time, and something that I think caught the eye of a lot of people, and hopefully set him up for what's the beginning of a great season.
It's pretty much just all speed with him. It's like his first burst is like the fastest in the state. It's like no one can ever beat him out the blocks. It's one of the most amazing things ever to see.
One of my favorite stories about Travion is how he got started. You know, Trey, when he was in middle school, he wasn't out for the track team, but he just came to cheer, one of his good friends, Eric, on, and he'd run across the infield, and our middle school coach at the time, Jed Reister, said, you're pretty fast. You want to think about coming out for track, and he did, and it's true, he's pretty fast.
Eric we were both in 7th grade, and I didn't want to do track because I felt like there was going to be too much running. And it was actually here in the back there. We had a track meet, and Eric had a track meet, and he was running, and as he was running, I was running next to him. I found myself running next to him, and after that, it was pretty much fate. Like, the track coach came up to me the next day at school, and he talked to me about joining track, and eventually I did.
Clark has gone on to have a great career in track. Last year was his breakout season, which included a trip to state and a school record.
He made it to state. The meet in the 200 is the open event, and then also we had 2 relays qualified, the 4x1 and the 4x2. And in the open 200, which was one of the last events of the prelims that day on Friday, a lot of people up there at Hamlin at the track, and we thought we had a pretty good angle at watching the event. And he got off to his sort of classic good start, and he was off early. And we thought, for a while, from my perspective, I thought, okay, he either won the heat or he came in second. And his time ended up 22:21, which was a school record. And he ended up 0.03 of a second out of making it into the finals. So. It was a great run. Like I said, set the school record faster than anybody in Winona Senior High School's ever run, and just close enough to keep him hungry for this year about getting into finals.
Clark is also a college-recruited football player as well. That's even more impressive when you learn that he didn't play football as a sophomore.
Freshman year, I wasn't even 5 feet tall, and I probably weighed like a total of 110 pounds. So I just pretty much spent the sophomore year dancing and pretty much working out.
And he always just kept saying, "Coach, I'm just too small. I'm going to get hurt." And we just said, "No, you're not. You're a quick kid. No one ever gets a clean hit on him." So we just said, "You'll be fine." And he kind of, "Nah, I really don't want to do it." And then, after that track season, he was like, "Gosh, I should really come back." So I think the biggest disadvantage for him was the start of his junior year.
My junior season was all right for me. I was kind of in, and I didn't expect to be in because I thought I was pretty much going to be sitting out because of Eric. And they got me up to speed. I wasn't really mentally prepared because I wasn't really fully into football at that time. I didn't even really like football until I got to my senior year, into junior year type thing. And I just pretty much did it because a lot of people kind of wanted me to do it. And coming into junior year, I wasn't really expecting to ever really play anyway, so I wasn't really fully there. I mean, I did okay, but I didn't do as good as I did when I had Eric for support on the sidelines and everything. I mean, I don't know, it was just a tough year for me. It was a tough year.
We had Eric go down, but Trey hadn't played for a year, and so he was learning everything over again, So I think that's where you saw it the most on him, was that the difference between that was as a junior, he was still learning so much of the offense and he really wasn't sure where to go. And then as a senior, he had played the year before, worked hard in the summer, and had learned a lot from Eric and his other teammates.
It's amazing. It's the things that he does. It's like I could never do it. I really couldn't. Like, it was the game against Century. It was like he's running and he's falling backwards, and he bounces off of somebody, and he keeps going, and there's 5 people holding on to him, and somehow he gets out of it. And just, I mean, the speed that he has, I wish I had it, because I'm really not even that close to him. It's outstanding what he can do on a football field with his size and speed.
Just based on his athleticism and his speed, he was able to really cause a lot of headaches for some defenses.
You know, he's a small kid, but he makes great moves. He's quick laterally, and he goes 0 to 100 in 0.2 seconds. So that's a big thing for him, is that quickness. He's also able to hide behind the offensive lineman because of that size. And all of a sudden he would kind of dart out of a little hole that wasn't there. So knowing where things were going with his size, he was kind of able to hide.
Run fast. That's pretty much it. Run fast and use your height to your advantage, as in stay low underneath your blockers, whoever's blocking for you.
So what is next for Travion, both in track and in his future after Winona Senior High School?
Probably break my own record, a couple records. I want to break. I feel like we're gonna break the 4x2 record, and I'm getting a hunch for the 400 record. I'll see what I can do on that part. And then I want to go to state. And last year I was more I was more happy to go to state. I felt like that was accomplishment enough. But now I'm actually going to fully compete. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna go there, and I'm gonna try to win state this year. I'm going for the gold this year.
I'd love to see him break a couple more records. And I think it would be only fitting that he and then that group end on the podium when we get to the state track meet again. You got to work hard to get there, but when we're there, I think that's one of the things that I think they've all set into the sights is, okay, last year we got there and we sort of figured out what the lay of the land was. Now this year let's go back with the opportunity to be on the podium and give us a chance to win a state title.
Travion, I see him maybe actually winning the 200 at state, because pretty much there's one person that he really has to worry about. That's the person who won state last year. So otherwise I see him winning.
I think the sky's the limit for him. He's so quick out of the blocks, and he runs the corner extremely well. I think both the relays that he's on, he'll have an opportunity to break them. I think he could have a legit shot at the 100 or the 200 as well. He's going to have to run well, and he's going to have some competition to push him along and pull him along. But I think if he sets his mind to it, I think he's got a great opportunity.
Law enforcement, actually, be a police officer. It's about the respect that you get, and I feel like you're doing your duty as not only as a human being, but as a citizen to protect other people. That's what I like about being in law enforcement. That's what I'm going to do.
He's got a huge heart. He really does. He's got a big heart. He really gives a lot of himself to all the activities in. It goes back to what I told you initially. Our first meeting was with him cheering on his friends, and he'll get more excited sometimes about some of his friends and some of the things that are going on there as much as he does about some of the things that he does himself. And I think that he will have a life of selfless kind of service to other people, and that really, as much as he does on the track and all the accomplishment he has, those things I think are greater than what he accomplishes on the track.
I think he's very electric on the track, and obviously in football too. So I think no matter which of the areas he chooses, I think he's going to be pretty successful. I think he's got the right mindset, and he wants it. I think once he gets onto a campus and those coaches kind of get him focused and keep working on the things that he needs to work on and pushing himself in practice every single day.
That's really, if you can say, hey, you can take some of your athletic ability and turn that into an education and eventually a career down the road, that's a nice opportunity.
Travion Clark says that his father was a big influence on him in choosing criminal justice as a degree to pursue in college. Coming up here on Prep Time, we'll take a look at Clark's teammate in football and track, Eric Birth. That's coming up here on Prep Time.
Hi, my name is Joe Glendy, and I am HBC. I am the HBC Air Network Engineer located in the Winona office. I spend my free time streaming movies with my girlfriend Janelle, as well as playing online video games. HBC's leading-edge internet service has the speed, reliability, and capacity I require for all my online entertainment needs. HBC's LumenNet internet service even offers symmetrical upload and download speeds.
We are HBC. Be sure to check out US Golf TV, where you are going to see golf products that you have never seen before. You're also going to see golf tips from some of the leading instructors around the country that are truly changing the way people are teaching the game and challenging the status quo. Also, you're going to see fitness tips that are revolutionizing the way PGA Tour pros are training their body and swinging the golf club. If you want something different, if you're looking for some new information, US Golf TV has it. Be sure to check your local listings. US Golf TV, we've got you covered.
Hi, I am Cindy Yeomans, and I am HBC. I am the local customer service representative located in the Red Wing office. HBC Internet Service allows me to stay up to date on the local news and weather available online at hbci.com. HBC's customer service team is here to ensure that every experience you have with HBC is a positive one. Whether you are signing up for new service, making changes to your existing service, or stopping in to pay your bill, you will always feel welcome when you visit me.
We are HBC.
And welcome back to Prep Time. Now we'll set our sights on Eric Birth, who is also a running back in football and also runs track in individual and relay races. But despite what you heard from Eric in the last segment, he is very fast, as his coaches explained.
Until people actually played against us, some people didn't think Eric could take the ball to the house, and then all of a sudden they would see the speed and see, wow, this kid hits the edge, he can be gone. So that was kind of fun to see. It was just feeding off each other and had a great time. And I think anytime you're having fun, it's a lot more enjoyable to go to practice and games, and everybody else feeds off that as well.
Don't get him wrong. I'm sure that every time those two go out and race each other, he's out there to try to beat him. You know, there's not, he might say some things that say, Trey, and no, he's out there to try to beat him.
They kind of feed off each other. They're kind of, different types of backs. Eric's a big back, but he's got speed too. Travion is kind of the jitterbug. Everyone hears, thunder and lightning. That's the term, used by the Giants. And a lot of people kind of said the same thing with us.
We hang out all the time. It's the chemistry that we get with each other, and we get used to being around each other, and it kind of carries on to the field so that you want to protect each other more, and it's a lot of sentimental stuff.
It helps a lot, actually, because I know his weaknesses, and it's like he helps him a lot more running, like against him in track. Like me and him, since we've been together for so long, it's like we push each other throughout everything to help each other get better. So it's running with him, it helps me a lot.
He's a bigger kid, and Travion obviously is a little bit smaller. So Eric takes a little while to get going. You put those guys in a race, and Travion probably wins 8 out of 10. I think Eric understands that. He understands his strengths. He's competitive. So, if you can get the baton to him in first, he's probably going to stay in first because he doesn't like to lose. So I think they're actually a good blend. They understand each other, and they're okay with their teammate, being better than them possibly in certain things. And that's kind of the way it is. They're competing week in and week out on track and pushing each other, and they're pulling some of those other young kids along and making them better as well.
Birth decided to try out track, not because of a friend's interest, but because of family.
I ran track actually because of my brother. And it started off because we're in gym, and gym in 7th grade, and we were running around the gym to warm up. And it was me and Trey, and we were running, we were chasing after each other. And the coach looked at me, he was like, yeah, you should think about going out for track. So I was like, okay. And then my brother was on the track team, so that made it all much better. I guess that made me want to go out a lot more. So, and plus I want to running with him. I ran with him for 2 years in track, so that I really wanted to do that too. So, and I really wanted to beat him in a race.
Even though Eric Birth is a great track athlete, his favorite sport is football.
I guess I moved from Chicago to Winona, and I was always interested there, but we never had a football team in our school. So I guess I've always been interested in playing football, and it just kind of sort of came to me.
Birth was set to have a breakout season his junior year, but his junior season lasted just 1 game.
We had graduated a lot of seniors the year before. I guess that year the only thing we knew for sure is what we had in a tailback, and that hopefully he could carry some of the load for us and allow those kids that were juniors and seniors the time to mature, learn the offense, and understand what it was to play in the Big 9 consistently. And so when we lost him, it was like, oh boy, where are we going to go? We didn't have any other tailbacks that were really ready. We had graduated a couple kids. Anthony Inman was gone, so we were kind of searching for an identity, because we kind of lost the identity of our team really early, after 7 carries. So that was a pretty big blow, I think, to the coaches, to him, I think his teammates, because they knew he was kind of the catalyst of that offense, and everything was going to kind of focused on him and revolve around him. So it was a pretty big blow.
just that injury, it just, God, it just threw the whole season off. It was hard for me sitting there watching my team go 1-8, and me knowing that I could do something about it, but not really physically being able to do something about it. It's like, it was grueling for me. I'm running with the ball. My fullback, he hits the player that actually tackles me, hurts me. He hits him and like he lets the guy go, and I guess like the guy dove and he landed on my ankle, and it just like the pressure of him landing on it just kind of went in, and it just was downhill from there. I felt cracks. I mean, I screamed. I remember that vividly. So that was a lot of pain.
Things went from bad to worse as Birth's recovery from injury was stalled when he tried to come back too soon.
You know, I had him in class, not only did I have him in the football field, but I had him in class at the same time, and so he was actually rehabbing in my class every single day. And he was pushing himself hard. He was doing a lot of things, because they had told him, maybe 6 weeks, so you might be able to be back for that last section, or that last regular season game into sections, and so that was his goal, because that's what they told him, possibility. Everything looked good. He was out doing some things, moving around, whatever, and he had one more test basically to pass. They went in and took another x-ray, and they had saw that there was a slight shift in the procedure they did, so they said, no, you're done. And for him, that was a huge blow. It was like the day before our last regular season game, and so for him it was like, oh my gosh, here we go. And then they're like, we'll do surgery tomorrow. So he actually wasn't even at our last game because they did surgery on that day.
It took a lot of work, actually. Like, it took me probably 6 months, 3 surgeries to get back from that. There was therapy, there was just learning how to run again, learning how to jump again. It was a lot of work, but I guess like the doctor, the therapist, my coach, they always pushed me to be better and get the work done, so it helped a lot.
One of the things that's impressed me the most out of Eric, Eric, people didn't realize this last year, he came off that football injury in track season, so a lot of what he did in track was to recover from that injury, and he stayed the course. He continued to work, and I was really proud of him and his work ethic throughout that year last year.
What are Eric's goals and hopes for his future?
My goals this year, it's probably to break the school 100 dash record and going to state once again, and then winning conference, defending my championship with conference, and then winning sections. Because last year it was not that good last year. I finished 8th place last year, so I want to finish a lot better than that.
He's defending Big 9 champion in the 100-meter dash, and I'd love to see him come back and defend that title, and be a leader on our 4x1 and our 4x2, and qualify for state and get to the podium and all those things. It's like right now it's about dreaming, and then it's about going out and getting it. So that's where we're at.
I'm going to go major in physical education and coaching, and I'm playing football for Winona State. So I want to do something that I'm comfortable with and that it's actually going to be fun for me.
And we hope to follow Eric Birth's football career as he continues at Winona State University. Coming up here on Prep Time, we will check in with Winhawk Activities Director Brad Berzinski. That's coming up right after this.
Hi, I'm Colleen Bushman, and I am HBC. I'm the Customer Service Director located in the Winona office. I love sewing, photography, and spending time with my new grandson, and HBC Internet allows me to see him anytime I want. HBC's customer service team is here to ensure that every experience you have with HBC is a positive one, whether you're signing up for new service, making changes to your existing account, or just stopping in to pay your bill and say hi. You will always feel welcome when you visit me.
We are HBC.
Be sure to check out US Golf TV, where you are going to see golf products that you have never seen before. You're also going to see golf tips from some of the leading instructors around the country that are truly changing the way people are teaching the game and challenging the status quo. Also, you're going to see fitness tips that are revolutionizing the way PGA Tour pros are training their body and swinging the golf club. If you want something different, if you're looking for some new information, US Golf TV has it. Be sure to check your local listings. US Golf TV, we've got you covered.
We're doing things in bus magazines and the newspapers and things like that, and it's just like we seemed like we needed a different media, and we thought, TV, perfect. Laura, she is awesome. She came out the first time. She was very, very personable, tends to your needs. Anything that you needed, she was right there. I literally, seriously, have been wanting to make more commercials just because it was such a great, fun process. I would recommend HBC to anybody.
Call Laura for details on how to get a free commercial for your business.
This season, Winona Senior High Athletics started out the year with their third different athletic director in the past 3 years. Mark Winter stepped down from the job in 2011. Clark Jones then took over for 2012 but resigned this summer. Then, 1999, Winona Senior High School graduate Brad Berzinski took over the reins of the job, and he talks about how he's doing in his first year at the helm of Winhawk Athletics.
As an activities director now, it's certainly been an adjustment to learn some of the technical aspects of the job, but the advantages that I had, I knew all the people, I knew all the places, I knew that as this issue may come up, at least I knew who the person was to touch base with and try and solve that problem. So I think it would be really difficult. I don't envy people that step into a position as an athletic director, activities director in a community that they don't know, people that they don't know, facilities that they don't know. I mean, that's a big thing too, is especially right now as we're dealing with some less than cooperative spring weather. It's like, okay, so what's plan B, what's plan C? If this doesn't work out, what else can we do instead? And to be familiar with the community and the facilities is certainly a big advantage there.
I think he's doing a great job. He's done a nice job of communicating. I think he does a good job of, if he doesn't understand or has a question, I think he asks, because he wasn't the head football coach, so sometimes there's things that the head football coach or the head baseball coach took care of that he didn't know for sure. So, he's always good at asking the question about, okay, how do we do this? How was this done in the past? Does this work for you if we do it this way? So I think he's good because he's asking questions and he's gaining knowledge from us and using, each of the coaches to their abilities and what they've done and really tried to make it an easy transition.
Brad Berzinski is great. I've really enjoyed the time that we've had to get to know each other over the last year, and he's a real staple in that community and has been for a while, as a coach and as a teacher as well too. So that's been really great, and we're thankful for that partnership.
We're really glad that he's in that role of activities director, and he's doing a great job. And from all the reports that I hear anecdotally from other coaches and other people that he comes in contact with, that he's right on top of things.
I guess I've been going in the direction of school administration for the last few years. I kind of knew that was I knew I wasn't going to remain in the classroom necessarily for the duration of my career. I've kind of been on this path for the last, I'd say probably 4 or 5 years. I've kind of had it in mind that I would eventually move into some sort of different role, still within the realm of education, but some other role. So, when the activities director position opened up, I think it gives me a good opportunity to utilize some of the strengths that I have and some of the knowledge that I have. Again, I've got a background in a variety of athletics, and I think I have some of the qualities that it takes to do well in this job. Organization is probably number one. You end up managing a lot of different things in a given day. I mean, you might spend 5 minutes on this and 10 minutes on that, and it's just you rarely sit down and spend an hour on something. It's usually just kind of all these little things that come up during the day, and just trying to keep all those balls in the air.
In that position, now you take a spring like we're having here with all the activities that have to be rescheduled. You really have to be on top of it, and besides that, there's just the everyday scheduling of things for the next year, and that continually going on, and the little things that don't go right that he has to deal with, where maybe a student gets in trouble or a student doesn't have the funds to partake in the activity, or a parent's got a complaint about their child's not playing enough, or he's got to deal with that stuff too. So he's got a lot of plates spinning, and he's able to keep those things organized.
Berzinski says that one of the things that has helped him in his first year on the job are the relationships that he has with current Winhawk student athletes.
At least right now, when I go out into the halls, I still know the vast majority of the kids pretty well because I have taught a lot of them. I have coached a lot of them. My fear is more of, what about 3 or 4 years down the road, when I've been out of the classroom, when I've been out of coaching for 4 years, say, am I going to know as many kids as well? No, probably not.
He was a teacher at the high school, so I was certainly aware of Brad, and I also knew that from anecdotal conversations that he was a very good teacher, very organized, very skilled, very articulate, well liked by his students, well respected by them, and certainly well liked and respected by his fellow teaching colleagues at the high school.
I think it helps you a lot. I think he's got a little rapport with some of the kids because he's taught them, or he's had them in class, or he's coached them. So I think that really helps that early on transition of, I get it, I know where you're coming from, I've had you in class, I understand who you are. I just think that it helps a lot with that early beginning as an athletic director.
Berzinski is also helped by the fact that he played 3 different sports while a student at Winona Senior High School, and he had highs and lows as a Winhawk, especially in his favorite sport.
Football was probably kind of my number one sport in terms of interest in high school. It was a sport that, as a junior, we went 0-9. I mean, we really struggled. You know, we had a lot of younger kids playing, and we got out there and got it handed to us pretty good most weeks. Our senior year, we actually went 5-4. Not a terribly impressive record, but from where we'd come from, boy, we felt pretty darn good about that. You know, we felt like we'd really kind of turned the corner there. Football was probably the sport that I guess ultimately ended up being my favorite. Baseball is the one that I played the most of, and had been playing since I could barely walk. But I've got some real good memories there too of playing Winona High baseball, playing some of the summer baseball programs coming up through the Goodview traveling program, and playing VFW buddies and playing for the Legion and all that. It's some neat memories and some relationships that I still hold very closely today.
So how is Berzinski doing as the activities director?
Brad's also a Winona guy. He brings to the position there that he has now this understanding a little bit of what Winona athletics is all about and what Winona activities are about, and certainly has I think a deeper allegiance to not only the schools in Winona, but also to the community and surrounding area. And that sometimes you don't get when you bring somebody in from outside, somebody that they come there for a job and rather than a career. And I think that Brad has certainly made the commitment to Winona and the community and loves it here and wants to stay here. And when you have that sort of an attitude, and somebody that's very organized and we respect it like he is. I mean, you've got a winning combination there as a human being and as a professional.
He's very organized. He always knew kind of where he was at. Very mild-mannered, pretty even-keeled type of guy. Pretty consistent. Didn't get too excited or too low about anything. Always kind of that workman type, character to him.
Brad, he's a really complete package when it comes to administrator and an activities director, a community member, and certainly a member of our administrative team that I value his input very much.
Well, that's all the prep time that we have for you today. I'm Justin Barrientos. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.